Coming up on the final portion of my journey across the United States, I visit all of the national parks in North and South Dakota, and also a visit to Mount Rushmore, which I've always wanted to do. And as always, lots of hiking and free dispersed camping. Enjoy. All right, it's noon on Sunday, August 22nd, and I am into a state that I've never visited before, which is the great state of North Dakota. And I spent all day yesterday with the cameras off, just basically driving all the way across the state from east to west. In truth, there wasn't that much to film. So this morning, slept in a little bit and watched some Premier League football, and I'm camped last night out in some grassland, public grassland area just outside of Theodore Roosevelt National Park. So now I've had some lunch and I am going to head into the park. It's just about 15 minutes from where I am now. Hey there, got the annual pass.
Would you like a map?
Yes, please, I'd love one.
And there you are.
Thanks so much. I will, thank you. All right, good visit to the museum at the visitor center. A lot of cool stuff in there, a lot of amazing artifacts from Roosevelt's time in this era. And I got a good plan. I think there's a scenic loop drive that's about 35 miles around this portion of the park. So I'm gonna do that, kind of wait out some of this weather. And then while I'm on the other side of this portion of the park, about halfway through the loop, there's some good hiking over there. So I think I'm gonna pause at about halfway through the loop, do some hiking, and then finish it up. Pretty cool hike. Couldn't find any good loops, so this is just an out and back. It's about 2 miles out and 2 miles back in. And got to see prairie dogs, which is a first. That was really cool. And the landscape out here is gorgeous. The weather is starting to break, so sun's starting to peek out from behind the clouds. Overall, really nice afternoon. So now I'm just hiking back to the Xterra. Just gonna try to finish that loop and then head back to the grasslands where I was staying last night and try to find another spot to camp. Okay, it's just after 8 a.m. on Tuesday, August 24th, and I am in the Black Hills National Forest in South Dakota. Yesterday I had the camera off. I spent the day traveling all the way from where I was in North Dakota all the way down here, and the Black Hills Forest, National Forest, so far has been beautiful. There's a stretch that I went through to get here that just had beautiful streams and creeks running along the road, and it was absolutely gorgeous the whole way. And last night, in fact, I was right next to a little stream which was really peaceful to sleep near, and this is a really great spot. I hope to come back to this area. In fact, I'll be here in this general vicinity for the next 3 or 4 days. There's lots of national monuments and national parks in this area that I plan on visiting. First of which today is Badlands National Park. So I've got about an hour to get over there, and that's where I'm heading. All right, so I'm into the park. I am in the north unit. It's kind of divided into two. And I think what I'm gonna do, it took me a lot longer to get here. I thought I was closer than I was, so it took me over 2 hours. So it's getting on noon, and right now I'm just making some lunch and kind of looking over the brochure and the map. And after lunch, there's a hike near here that I think is gonna take me about 2 or 3 hours to do. And so I'm just gonna go bang that out and then drive kind of through the rest of the park and head towards some camping for the evening. Right, so this is me for tonight. I've got amazing views. It's a national grassland that's just outside of Badlands National Park. So that's great. The only problem is the wind's still blowing through pretty fierce, so it's kind of supposed to calm down. We'll see, but I've set up the interior bedroom, quote unquote, just in case the wind doesn't die down. So I'll give it about 9 or 10 and we'll see. And I've got a neighbor that's a schoolie, and they're there. You can see there's a roof nest off in the distance as well. So anyway, what a day. And now I'm gonna grab a shower and crawl up to the tent and try to do some relaxing. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, August 25th. I slept pretty decent last night. The wind calmed down, and actually it turned out to be the rain. It rained a couple times, a couple of small thunder showers rolled through, and that's what kind of woke me up a few times. But overall, pretty nice sleep, and it's absolutely gorgeous out here. The scenery is beautiful with the mix of clouds and sunshine, with the sun coming up is really cool. So anyway, I've got about an hour's drive to get to the city. I got to get an oil change, and then from there about another hour to get to Wind Cave National Park, the other national park in South Dakota.
Take the next left.
Okay, so I'm into the park, and I've got my map and brochure after stopping by the visitor center to top off my water tank and get some information. And of course, this national park is most famous for the underground network of caves, but they charge you to do that, and there's a long wait. And so I'm not super obsessed with doing that today. For me, I'm just going to stop here and get some lunch, and then pretty much the same thing as yesterday. Go ahead and take a hike throughout the surrounding area. And it's absolutely amazing because this whole terrain is so different than Badlands, which is only a couple hours away from here. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there today. One of my favorite things about all these national parks is, even though a lot of them are busy, the thrill of the moment when you actually find a small little corner of the park to call your own where there isn't another soul around is truly amazing. I thought about it for a while. It's kind of like when you go to a museum, but everyone's going to see the same three or four paintings, but they're surrounded by other masterpieces there. If you just know where to look and take your time, you can find those hidden gems. And that's the way I feel right now. I'm out here looking out over this beautiful scenery and just taking it all in, and getting ready to head back toward the Xterra, which is about 3 miles from here. And then I'm going to go find a place to camp for the night. right, it's about noon on Thursday, August 26th, and I slept in this morning and just kind of relaxed in the tent for a while. And now I'm gonna go, I got a hike picked out that's a half hour or so away from here, so I'm gonna go to the trailhead, have some lunch, and then do that hike. All right, so it's about 4 o'clock, and this is the spot I got for this evening. I'm in the Black Hills National Forest again, which I can't recommend enough. Tons of good dispersed camping, beautiful surroundings. Really like it out here, and look forward to the next time that I'll be able to come visit. And tomorrow's going to be a really special day because I'm very near to Mount Rushmore. I think I'm only about 5 miles away. So for the rest of the day, just going to shower and relax in the tent. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to get up around 5 a.m. and get there before the sun comes up and get to a good spot on the surrounding cliffs so that I can actually really get a beautiful sunrise moment with Mount Rushmore, because it does open at 5. The visitor center doesn't open until 8, but the actual monument opens at 5. So fingers crossed that I can get in there at that hour and get a good view of the sunrise coming up. But for now, just gonna relax and shower and clean up and call it a day.
All right, it's 5 in the morning, and slept great last night, and looking forward to going and seeing Mount Rushmore. So I'm gonna pull the tent down and get on it.
All right, so it's a little bit after 5:30, and I'm in. You don't have to pay to get into the monument. You just have to pay to park. So I'm a little bit outside of the parking area. I just want to pull out on the road, and I haven't seen a single other person here, which is awesome. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful sunrise getting ready to come up, and I'm in a good spot. I scrambled onto some rocks, and you can see the monument just behind me, and the visitor center is behind me. So anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around and just set up the video camera to record the sunrise coming up. So that was awesome. Totally worth getting up at 5 in the morning. So if you're ever going to visit Mount Rushmore, I highly suggest getting up early and getting in here because there's only a handful of people here. And watching the sun come up and hit the monument was something I'll never forget. So I think this is a good time to mention that this is going to be the last day that I'm on the road. I'm basically out of gas money, and it's been a year. It hasn't been 365 days of overland travel per se on the road like I had expected, but it's been over 365 days since I quit my job, and basically it's time to get back to quote unquote normal life. And so I fly out in a few days. I'm going to go back to Fort Collins this afternoon and hang out with some friends and family there, and then fly out next week. So this is my last day on the road, and I figured it was a perfect way to end it here at Mount Rushmore. And many more things to come. I'm going to try to continue to post some videos from my travels as I am able to travel, and then also do some modifications to my Jeep down in Hawaii and do some hikes and stuff. And so I'll keep posting on the channel, but this is my last video that I'm going to make as I'm actually traveling across the 48 states. So much more to come on the channel, but I just wanted to say, if you are watching this, thank you for your support, and hope you all are happy and healthy wherever you are. Take care.